You think you know prehistoric Australia, right? Thylacoleo, Megalania, Diprotodon? Any one of them could headline a horror movie, but I'm going to tell you a fact that will make you spit out your coffee. The most lethal thing in prehistoric Australia wasn't an animal at all. It was more efficient than a marsupial lion and more cunning than a Megalania. It brought an entire continental ecosystem to its knees in just a few thousand years. And it's right next to you now, probably scrolling through videos on a phone. That's right, us. Now, hold on. It's not the typical humans are the ultimate galactic villains trope. This twist will make you rethink what the word lethal actually means. Most people picture prehistoric Australia as a giant animal theme park. Oversized kangaroos, massive koalas, and gargantuan lizards. Ads, movies, and even some science videos suggest it was a land ruled by titans. But there is a fatal misunderstanding here. Being big doesn't mean being invincible. Take Megalania, 7 meters long, weighing over 300 kilos. It sounds like a Komodo dragon on steroids. But put it in the actual prehistoric Australian ecosystem, and it was mostly just hanging out in the middle of the food chain, nowhere near the top. Early reconstructions made a classic mistake. They simply scaled up ancient animals to look like their modern relatives. Megalania was drawn as a super monitor, and Thylacoleo as a super lion. They forgot that when you change body proportions, the lifestyle, metabolic needs, and predator-prey relationships all have to be recalculated. It's like giving a cat growth hormones. It won't become a tiger. It'll just become a miserable creature with creaking joints and a failing heart. Prehistoric Australia's survival rule was never bigger is stronger. It was the more efficient, the better. The real absurdity starts here. In 2017, a research team in southeast Queensland unearthed Megalania vertebrae, not a whole skeleton, but well-preserved tailbones and inner ear structures. After CT scans and biomechanical simulations, the results practically flipped the textbooks upside down. Megalania's vestibular system and speed data were more like modern monitor lizards, meaning it wasn't a majestic apex hunter, but an opportunistic ambush scavenger. Its daily routine wasn't chasing diprotodons across the plains. It was hiding in the brush, waiting for carrion or picking off the old and the sick. To put it bluntly, it was a feral dog in a leather jacket, not a silverback gorilla. Then there's Thylacoleo, the marsupial lion. Its skeleton is terrifying. Massive jaws, retractable claws, and canines more exaggerated than a tiger's. We used to imagine it as the Aussie version of a leopard. But isotope analysis and dietary simulations slapped us with reality. Thylacoleo's bite force wasn't designed to crush the throats of large ungulates, but to handle thick-skinned prey like prehistoric lungfish and amphibious reptiles. It likely spent most of its time by the water, fishing, rather than racing kangaroos on the savannah. So, where was prehistoric Australia's true apex predator? The answer might leave you speechless. It didn't exist. To understand this food web, we have to ditch the whoever has the biggest teeth wins mindset and return to a more fundamental variable: metabolic rate and daily energy requirements. Today's top predators in Australia are crocodiles and certain monitor lizards, but they are ectotherms. At the same body weight, they consume only a fraction, 1/5 to 1/10 of the energy a lion does. This means those giant prehistoric, cold-blooded carnivores, like Megalania and the Wanambi snake, didn't need to hunt every day. They could survive just fine eating once a week or even once a fortnight. Think of them like old men living in a staff dormitory. One meal lasts 3 days, saving more money than a gig worker on food delivery. But here's the puzzle. If they were so good at handling hunger, why did they go extinct? The answer to that question is prehistoric Australia's greatest mystery. Current evidence points to an uncomfortable answer. When humans landed in Australia, roughly 50,000 years ago, they didn't bring a massacre. They brought a massive demolition and reconstruction of the ecosystem. It wasn't humans with spears taking on Megalania in a duel. Modern hunters with guns aren't even that efficient. Instead, through fire stick farming, altering vegetation, and wiping out large herbivores on a massive scale, humans indirectly smashed the predators' rice bowls. Megalania could survive hunger, but when seasonal food shortages stretched out and humans were also scavenging the same carrion and burning down the grasslands, the population collapsed. You might be thinking, so humans were that powerful? They took out titans the moment they landed? Sorry, the truth is more sobering. To this day, archaeologists haven't found a single site proving humans directly hunted Megalania or Thylacoleo. We only have indirect clues, stone tools and bone fragments in the same strata, but it's hard to tell if it was a hunt or just picking up leftovers. A 2019 Nature paper surveyed over 40 late Pleistocene sites and found that large animals went extinct roughly 3,000 to 5,000 years after human arrival. Not instantly. It's that Australia was too fragile. The species on this land had evolved for so long without ever seeing an ecosystem engineering crew like humans. Furthermore, watching popular science shows can create another bias. That prehistoric Australia was basically Mad Max with animals fighting 24/7. In reality, after analyzing bone DNA and digestive remains from hundreds of fossils, paleontologists found that the vast majority of deaths weren't caused by predation, but by drought, fire, malnutrition, and disease. The threat of predators has been heavily magnified by our modern law of the jungle filter. Prehistoric Australian animals lived more like those on the African savanna today, spending most of their time avoiding danger and conserving energy, not fighting. Now, look at the timeline. Studies show Thylacoleo went extinct about 46,000 years ago, Megalania about 50,000 years ago, and Diprotodon about 44,000 years ago. Human arrival is generally accepted to be between 50,000 and 48,000 years ago. Notice the gap. Megalania died 4,000 years before Thylacoleo, and Thylacoleo died 2,000 years before Diprotodon. This isn't made up. It's pieced together from hundreds of carbon-14 and uranium-thorium dating points. Why didn't they go extinct at the same time? The most logical explanation is that extinction didn't push down from the top of the food chain, it pushed up from the bottom. Phase 1. Humans use fire to reshape the landscape. Shrubs and herbs disappear, and small herbivores suffer first. Phase 2. Predators that rely on them, Megalania, small carnivorous marsupials, start to starve and collapse. Phase 3. Giant herbivores, Diprotodon, lose their habitat. Food becomes scarce, and their numbers plummet. Phase 4. Apex predators, Thylacoleo, lose their last stable food source and finally vanish. The entire death chain lasted 4,000 years, a long time in human history, but just a blink in Earth's evolution. The extinction in prehistoric Australia wasn't a massacre of giants by humans. It was a global-scale ecosystem stress test. The species that failed weren't necessarily the weakest. Megalania was the best at handling hunger, and Thylacoleo had the strongest bite force, yet they still struck out. The common thread among the losers was a survival strategy highly dependent on a specific stable food web. The survivors, like echidnas, wallabies, and various birds, succeeded, not because they were meaner, but because they were generalists with high reproductive rates, low metabolic needs, and a window to coexist with human activity. Evolution doesn't believe in the strongest. It believes in the best fit for current ecological conditions. Today, similar niche shocks are repeating worldwide. When you drop an invasive species into a new world, you're repeating the story of prehistoric Australia, the niche of a muscular or gentle giant being permanently rewritten by human intervention. Next time you see scientists warning about invasive species, or wonder why native tigers in China didn't go extinct and can still recover, think of prehistoric Australia. The change in a niche is rarely achieved through killing, but by interfering with the very bottom of the food web. But there's one strange piece of data we haven't discussed. Paleontologists have found Megalania and Thylacoleo fossils in late Pleistocene strata in Tasmania, and some islands that are several thousand years younger than those on the mainland. Why did island species last longer? One unresolved explanation is that island ecosystems are simpler and more stable, and humans arrived later. The evidence is not solid enough yet, and the academic world is still in a heated debate. If humans hadn't landed on those islands, would they have become the final refuges? Or was it just a matter of time, whether on an island or a continent, that every creature would face the same end? When the foundation is pulled from the bottom of an ecosystem, any local stability is just a stay of execution. This question might be closer to reality than we think. The story of prehistoric Australia might never have a perfect full stop, but every open ending reminds us the fragility of an ecosystem is far more lethal than any predator's fangs. If you found this story compelling, let us switch ecosystems next time. Antarctica in the age of dinosaurs, or Easter Island during the Ice Age? Vote in the comments and take your pick.